Hip-hop dance makes me feel alive, it makes me feel expressive, and it makes me feel like I have something to give for myself. Teaching is something that I've always been passionate about, and it's one of those things where I like to share and I like to take the energy from others in a room.
As a contemporary dance artist, hip-hop dance often makes me feel like a fish out of water. I've noticed that it gives me an opportunity to work on some more challenging wheelchair tricks that I've always wanted to work on and really find a groove and a grittiness that I don't necessarily feel I have, and so hip-hop dance makes me kind of feel like a badass.
Makes me have energy and express myself and showcase my moves. I get to showcase it or show other people.
It's fully inclusive. When hip-hop dance was first being originated, it was one of those types of art forms where people were pulling from their different experiences, and so that actually made the culture very colorful.
Welcome to the first video in our hip-hop dance video series. We have made these videos to share a few foundational hip-hop moves with you. We hope that you add your own style and unique creativity while you practice these movements. Creativity is the cornerstone of the hip-hop movement. Hip-hop is about freedom of expression and the celebration of inclusivity of various art forms. No matter how you move or groove, you can be a hip-hop dancer. You can do these movements seated or standing, and you can adapt them in any way that works for your body. Grooves first, moves later means your expression of the dance and music is more important than getting the moves down perfect. Hip-hop, in fact, encourages the opposite. Imperfections and improvisations are the driving soul of hip-hop. This soul has bred what has arguably become the most influential and popular subculture of this generation. We welcome you to come join and share in this unique experience. See you on the dance floor. Hip-hop Dance, Lesson 1.
Welcome everybody. My name is Kelly Riccardi. I'll be your choreographer dancer. Number 1, we have Harmony Rose and Janan. And today we're going to be focusing on the foundations of hip-hop dance. Connecting our bodies to the music, focusing on the framework of grooves first, moves later. So we have 2 words, adaptation and translation. Adaptation is basically how we're going to be adapting our bodies to what we do well and maybe improving what we can't do as well. And so everyone's bodies work different, so we want to be able to translate those movements through our body, and it's going to look different for everybody. So don't worry about being able to look like me, Harmony Rose, or Janan. We all look different, and that's what we're celebrating today, and that's what we're celebrating in hip-hop culture.
The roots of hip-hop subculture.
Hip-hop in the 1980s came from New York City at the time, South Bronx, Harlem, and Queens. Basically, it started out in the movement of political injustices at the time, where there was social unrest, social injustice happening in these inner city communities. Youth were looking for ways of expressing these frustrations through freedom of movement, power, and other art forms. And so you have Black and Latino populations that were mainly populating the South Bronx, Queens, and Harlem at the time, and they wanted to get out of these gangs. And so what they did is they put together these art forms known as graffiti, hip-hop dance, MCing, and DJing. And they'd throw together these big parties in neighborhoods called block parties, and they really got into a positive freedom of expression known as the hip-hop subculture.
Afrika Bambaataa is known as the grandfather of hip-hop. After making a trip to Africa, Bambaataa became inspired by the Zulu people. Bambaataa brought this way of life to former street gangs in his community, which shifted destructive outcomes into a positive direction, founding a hip-hop awareness group called the Universal Zulu Nation. Bambaataa explains, the Universal Zulu Nation in hip-hop stands for knowledge, wisdom, understanding, freedom, justice, equality, peace, unity, love, work, and having fun. Above all, overcoming the negative to the positive.
Hip-hop was used as a way of really injecting into the community a source of commonality for the tensions that were happening at the time politically. For us, we're going to be demonstrating some of the movement that came within that natural frustration and include that in a framework for motion, for power, and for the feelings of resistance at the time. But now, today, we're going to apply that to what inclusivity and dance mean to us.
Warm-up. Instructions. Follow along in whatever way works best for you.
All right, so now we're just going to jump right into it. We're going to start off with a hip-hop warm-up, which is a mixture of grooves and moves. So the foundation is grooves first, moves later. So we're going to be listening to the beat of the song. We're going to try to match the tempo, which is the timing of the song, and we're going to put those two things together. And if you need adaptations, that's okay. You can make them. And if you get lost in the movement, just try to start off from where you left off. All right, let's do it. Just remember, your center of gravity, if it's easier, stay center. Widen your legs. It'll help to keep you balanced. So now I'm yanking in my elbows. If it helps just to do it on the spot, we're sinking this knee in, bringing the elbows in. Switch. 5, 6, 7, 8. Reach out to the side. Side.
I've been on set since 17. I've been on set on Saturday.
Stretch.
I'm going numb, amphetamine. I don't do drugs, I'm not a fiend. Push to the edge, no boundary. About 2 or 3 in these leather jeans. Look at me, flex.
Doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Bounce. Back groove. From the side, we want to turn to the side. This is what it looks like to the side. You can cross your arms, lean back if you want to add some flavor to your upper body. Turn back to the front. Step, touch, step, touch, step, touch, step, touch. Scooping. You're dipping your head down, and you're kind of keeping that sight forward, that sight line forward. And add a touch, make it more complicated if you wish, or you can just stay center. Feet planted. You can also grab your pants. You want to rest. Kick the heel up if you want. Add a shoulder if you want.
Freeze, photo, please, no photos. Different record, but it's relevant. Show the L, show the wins. Look at me, I'm on. Touchdown and zone. Home run, Barry Bonds.
Knees up.
Keep going.
So now, if we want to turn to the side, ladies, we're going to compress, putting our chest here. We're going to alternate legs. If you're sitting, you can just alternate side to side. Or what Harmony's doing, Harmony rows. She's rolling her wheels forward and crunching forward. Hope you're all warmed up. Let's get into it.
Reflection. Is your body feeling warm and ready to keep dancing? Grooves.
All right, we're going to get right into it with grooves. So remember before when I was talking about grooves first, moves later? Well, grooves isn't considered really a hip-hop move per se. It's more of a feeling that you get. And it's tied really closely in with the tempo of the song. So whatever song we're listening to, whether it has a 5, 6, 7, 8, or a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, whatever that looks like, we're trying to fit in with a feeling within that tempo. So we're going to roll the music, and what we're going to concentrate on is an up groove where the emphasis is going up. We're also coming down, but the emphasis is hitting up, like you're making a hit. Hit, 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 up, up, and then it goes to the down groove. Down, 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 down. Now you'll notice if I step to the side, so we'll demonstrate this, there's a bit of a lift with my back. So when you're kind of lifting like this, you can grab your pants if it kind of makes you more stable. If your core is here or in your solar plex or wherever you feel the most stable, and you're using your back to almost lift up and your head follows. So it's almost like it's hitting a ceiling and there's a recoil or a bounce. You're bouncing off it. Boom, 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 boom. All right, so we're going to turn to the front. We're going to try that again. 5, 6, 7 with the down groove. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stop. And then we're going to go up groove. 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to go up, 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 up. Now, essence of hip hop is getting a little bit low, a little bit grimy, right? We're not having good posture. So we want to hang like a gorilla. We're going to let our arms dangle and we're going to go up. So you can keep your arms loose. You can do moves if you want with them, but the emphasis is the groove within the tempo of the song. Now, that's an up groove and a down groove. We're just going to jump right into a forward and a back groove with a head. So, starting with the neck up is what we want to kind of focus on. So if you have a mirror at home, it may help to use that as a reference point. But basically what we want to do is we want to imagine going forward. So how the emphasis on the up groove and the down groove was down and up. Now the emphasis is forward, kind of like a head bop. And you'll notice if we step to the side this time, we'll switch sides for a different reference. We're going to clunk forward. Now sometimes my heels come a little bit off the ground. That might give me a little bit more momentum if you're standing. If you're sitting, just finding that groove in the rock. So forward groove a little bit, but the emphasis is isolating that head. Clunk, 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 clunk. All right, let's turn back to the front. And we're going to do the back groove. So going forward, so we're almost sticking our head forward, and we're going to start to clunk back. So 5, 6, 7, 8, back, 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 back. 5, just getting comfortable with it. 8, turning to the side for a side profile view. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, another helper, I was just thinking of this, on the back groove, I'll actually tip the tip of my index finger. If we stand to the side, we're going to put it on our chin. So just under the little crest below your lip, and you're going to kind of flick it back. So you're doing this motion, and that might help you to kind of get the feeling of isolating your neck. Boom, hop, boom, and you're just flicking that finger. Good. All right, so facing the center, we're going to roll the music. We're going to do the down groove, the up groove, the front groove, and the back groove. All right, 5, 6, remember that foundation. Back, back, groove, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, back to the forward groove. Forward. Nice. So try to move less of your body, more of your head. Nice. Neck's getting sore, you want to kind of stretch it out a bit, right? Don't drill it too hard and hurt yourself. Slow it down. Back to the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Down groove, up groove. 5, 6, down groove first. And you'll notice kind of in my head, it almost looks like it's sinking into my shoulder a bit. You want to keep loose, so it's more dynamic. 5, 6, 7, up, groove. Up, up, up. Nice. 5, 6, again, using your legs if you need that balance. All right. So Harmony Rose is going to demonstrate what grooving means to her and her adaptations.
All right, thanks, Kelly. So with the adaptations, you can just stick with your head and try to move your head without your body. That's one way to do it. Or you can find weight in a place that's maybe not your feet. I find weight in my tail, and then I find a motion in my core that just allows me to groove. So up groove is just finding a way for your head to go back, maybe finding that weight and that push from your tail through your spine, or maybe your forward groove is like the same thing, but you're trying to push your head forward, keeping your head really soft on the top of your spine. It's not, don't tense your neck. And then down groove is just pushing down some way, and it could just be pushing your head down like this, and up groove could be the same, pushing your head back as if you're hitting an invisible ceiling. So you can do it by leaning forward, I like to brace against my chair instead of my legs, but you can brace against your legs, going down or going up. So there's a couple different variations. Please feel free to adapt them to your body and your embodiment and have fun with it. Thank you.
We're going to get Janan to explain a little bit about how she vibes with that groove and how it fits within her body and her reach. Janan?
Okay, how you should how you should do like the head groove. How I do it is like you go forward and back, or if you're going backward, you like move your head backwards, and then if you're doing it forward, you would move your head like a bit like forward, and then for the up groove, you would just move your body sit down, like your knees are a little bit bent, and then you would move up. And then if you're doing the down groove, you would move your body down, kind of roll your body down.
So we'll roll it one more time. We'll go through all the grooves together, all right? Like Harmony Rose said, we're going to throw all those adaptations in there. So find your center of balance. Keep your neck loose. Again, it's kind of a clunky motion, right? But you want to keep it loose. All right, roll the music. Finding the feeling in the music and the beat. Finding that groove. Down groove first. You can bounce side to side if you want to, as long as the groove is down. Up groove. My heels are kind of jumping a little bit too. That's okay, adds dynamic to it. All right, forward groove. Flicking motion, we're going to use it on our chin for the back groove. Pick up the tempo in a sec. 7, 8.
Pro tip. Rewind the video at any time if you need more practice. TwoStep.
All right, so we're going to jump right into it. We're going to start with a move called the TwoStep. Now, there's all different styles of dance that incorporate a two-step. We have salsa, to name one. We have the waltz, which traditionally in the 1800s, the two-step was actually derived from the foxtrot and combining the one-step. Later into the waltz, which comes from the phrase valse des temps, which basically means the movement of going left together and right together into a waltz formation. And so with hip hop is we actually go into a groove. So whether you're doing the up groove or we're doing the down groove, we're going to combine the left together and the right together. So the first part is we're going to have a center. So if you have struggle with balance, what you want to do is tightening that core, which will in turn tighten your back and keep you giving you that rigid structure to stay to your center. So I'm going to count you in with 5, 6, 7, 8, and we're going to go on the 1. All right, so we're going to have a center, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to go left, center, right, center. Left, center, right, center. All right, let's try it again. 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to go left, together, right, together. Left, together, right, together. So on the foundational hip-hop movement, we want to always have a groove in the step. Because if we just do the step, it's just a step. So let's try again. 5, 6, 7 with the groove. Left, together, right, together. Left, together, right, together. Now you'll probably notice that I'm coming from high to low, so you can change your levels. And so this is probably what makes, in my opinion, hip-hop a little bit more dynamic, is we can do levels. We can come up, we can come low. And you can add that in, whatever you feel and however you can adapt it in your body. All right, so let's try again with that rendition, and then we'll go into part 2. 5, 6, 7 with the groove. Left, together, right, together. Left, together with more groove. Right, together. Left, together, right, together. You can pick different directions, look around in the room, add more style to it. All right, now, part 2. So we're going to start with a center, but remember where your center part is, because we're actually going to move to the side, and we're going to skip that center to go to the other side, making the movement bigger. So we're not going to actually have a center to come back to. We're actually going to be going all the way to the other side, making that movement bigger. So together, count you in. 5, 6, 7, 8. Left, together, right, together. Feel free to add your arms, right, together. All right, step to the center. Let's roll the music. Let's do it together. All right, so starting to groove before you do the step. It's really important to get into the music a little bit. All right, left, together, right, together. Left, together, right, together. Stop. 5, 6, 7, 8. Left, together, right, together. So staying to the middle. Find that center. Tighten that core. Put a groove into it. Up groove in this case. Nice. Awesome. All right, we all have our own styles. It's important to keep it in there. Up groove. All right, now we're going to go on to part 3. So cut the music. All right, so now we're going to put a little bit of what we call a slide into it, a step slide. There's different names for it, but we'll stick with that one for today. So we're going to go with the left first, and we're basically going to step out, kind of hopping up into a hop motion. Okay? But while you're hopping with the leading leg, so for instance, my right leg is hopping, and I'm dragging my left toe. All right? Step, touch. Do it to the other side, step, touch. Now remember, if I'm just doing the step, my body's going to look like this. Not too dynamic, right? But we need to do that to nail down the step. So once we got that hop, drag, together step, we come back to the center, and we're going to put a little bit of an up groove into it. So 5, 6, just watch me, step, up, step, up. Now for you, those of you again with balance issues, focusing on your core is going to be really, really important. So let's do it together. 5, 6, 7 with the up groove, step, touch, up, groove, up, up and up, up and up. So if I'm just going together without the slide, making it a little simpler, I'm just bopping my head like so. Right? So it's like the original 2-step where we have that up groove. But now we're just simply adding a slide. Slide, up, slide, up. And you can throw your arms in, make it more interesting. You can change your levels. Awesome. All right, so now we're going to show you a little bit of an adaptation. Harmony Rose is going to demonstrate for us, and we're going to switch and come back to it. All right, Harmony.
Thank you, Kelly. So with the wheelchair, I have a few different options. Because I have a manual chair, I can go all the way out and drag my hands on my wheels and slide out and come back to do my slide. Slide together. Or another option, if you're more stationary, you can just lean out and look behind you, come back, lean out, and look behind you. So there's different options of whether you're stationary, it's a torso slide more than a leg slide. So thinking about that.
All right, so continuing, we're going to combine all 3 steps. We're going to start without music, we'll add the music, and then we'll move on. All right, so back to the first step, touch. Remember, we're always putting a groove into it, which is the up groove, okay? There's also a down groove, but we're going to get to that next. So on the up groove, 5, 6, 7, 8, we're going to step to the side, step to the center, step to the side, step to the center. All right? So you always have that focal point that we're going on either side of, and then there's the step together with that center point that we're always coming back to. And remember, always keeping that up groove because we don't want to lose that essence of hip hop dance. All right, so that's part 1 and part 2. To part 3, we're stepping, dragging, touch, step, touch, step, dragging that toe, touch, touch. Always keeping that up groove. And then we add the arms in if you want. Hey, making it a little bit more dynamic. All right, cue music. Let's do it together. All right, remember, feeling the music a little bit before we jump into it. 5, 6, find that center point. Step, together, right, together. Step, together, right, together. Nice. Making it as big as you want. All right. Now we're stepping to the outside together. Part 2. Five, 6 to the slide. Change your levels. You can go back to part 1 and part 2 if it works for you. You can always turn your knee in a little bit. Make it more funky. Nice. Good job, ladies. All right. 5, 6, 7, cut the music.
Pro tip: put on your favorite music and try it on your own for more practice. Reflection:
What do you do when things are challenging for you?
take some time to reflect on how you handle challenging dance moves.
When things are challenging for me, I often have to break down each step and feel how it fits in my body. I go quite internal and figure out where the move starts, where it travels, and how it flows. And often it takes me a lot of repetitions before I really figure out what it is, and then I can speed it up. And even then, it can still be a little tricky, but I think it's great to break it down. And the other things that I really like is when I can talk to other people and get their interpretations of the movement, and it just gives me another clue on how to dive into it.
It sound right, boy.